The idea that you can't move on from where you are until you are where you are is one that may at first seem confusing, but as you begin to understand it, you may start to see just how powerful it is. Imagine this. Have you ever tried to jump forward in a race without first planting your feet in the present moment? What would happen if you tried? You'd trip, stumble, and you'd find that forward motion is impossible, wouldn't you? In fact, every step forward is rooted in your current reality, no matter how uncomfortable, difficult, or challenging it might seem. Now picture for a moment, you're standing in a place right here, right now. You might feel a bit overwhelmed by all that's around you, or you might feel like it's hard to breathe through it all. But what if you knew deep down it was only by fully feeling everything in this moment, fully experiencing your emotions, thoughts, and even your body sensations, that the true freedom to move forward could come? And notice how, once you truly feel where you are, without resistance, without judgment, without trying to push it away, something magical begins to happen. It's as if the energy that once felt stuck, the emotions that seemed too heavy, they begin to release and shift. They aren't problems anymore. They're just information. They're part of your process. As you allow yourself to feel them fully, notice how naturally, effortlessly, and without struggle, your mind and your body begin to release what's been holding you back. It's like a river running freely, once the dam has been cleared. The beautiful thing about this, as you may already be discovering, is there's a natural rhythm to the flow. Think about how every wave of emotion, no matter how intense, has its peak, and then it comes back down. That's the process of feeling it so it can heal. You've likely heard the phrase, what you resist persists. But let's deepen that idea. If you ever held your breath, even for a short moment, it doesn't take long before your body demands a release, does it? It's just the way things work. The more you try to hold back from feeling, the more you begin to feel overwhelmed by it. But once you begin to accept, once you start to let yourself be present in the moment, accepting where you are, you might begin to notice a change. And isn't it interesting how, when you're fully aware of where you are, your mind starts to open to new possibilities. Consider this, feeling everything, fully. It's an act of healing. It's not about staying stuck. It's about letting go of the barriers that keep you in place. Imagine if you were a gardener, planting seeds. You wouldn't try to rush the plant to grow, would you? You'd water it, nurture it, make sure it gets the sunlight it needs, and gradually, without force, without pressure, it would start to grow and bloom. Your emotions, your experiences, they're the soil from which your growth comes. You nurture it, feel it, let it be there, and watch as healing takes place naturally. Think about what happens when you acknowledge a mistake. It's as if the moment you admit it, the weight of that burden lifts, and you're free to move forward. Now imagine that every challenge, every moment that feels heavy or stuck, it's simply another chance to acknowledge and to feel it, allowing it to release, allowing you to move forward with ease. Can you see how, by reconnecting to your present reality, by feeling it all fully, deeply, you create the space for healing? You can't change what you don't feel. And you don't need to change anything. You only need to allow it to be felt. That's where the magic lies. That's where the transformation happens. Now let's consider how this feeling process, it might look in your own life. Picture a situation where you felt resistant, stuck, afraid. What happens if instead of avoiding it or wishing it away, you just let yourself feel it? Feel the fear, the anxiety, the doubt, without pushing it away. Just let it be for a moment and notice what shifts inside you. Isn't it fascinating how, when you embrace it fully, the power of that emotion, it starts to lose its grip over you. You begin to realize it was never the emotion itself that was the problem, but the resistance to it. And now let's take that feeling of resistance, and in your mind's eye, picture it melting away. Let it soften. Let the tension dissolve. As that resistance releases, notice how much lighter you feel. Isn't it freeing? And now, with that space created, you're free to move on, to make choices that are aligned with where you want to go. Not from a place of fear, but from a place of true understanding. This process is available to you in any moment, in every moment. The healing is in the feeling. And once you experience this once, it becomes easier and easier to come back to, over and over again. Because you know that, just like a deep breath, the moment you allow yourself to feel what's there, you give yourself the permission to release what no longer serves you. And in that release, you begin to expand, to heal, and to grow into the next best version of yourself. And so, you can now start to understand, in a deep, unconscious way, that every moment spent in the present, fully feeling, is a step towards healing. That's the key. You're not moving forward by avoiding where you are. You're moving forward by deeply being here, and by embracing each moment with openness, understanding and love. It's as simple as that. The secret to healing, it's in fully experiencing the present. And in that experience, you discover you're not stuck. You're simply in the process of becoming. And from that space of true presence, every challenge, every emotion, every experience, it can be transformed, leading you exactly where you need to be. You've just unlocked the power of presence. Because it's fascinating, isn't it? How sometimes the simplest ideas, they can have the most profound effects on our lives. Imagine for a moment the way the wind moves through the trees, effortlessly swaying with the rhythm of nature. Every gust, every shift, always moving, always adjusting. In the same way, you're part of that flow. You too can move through life with the same ease. If you simply allow yourself to be where you are, fully embracing the present moment. Can you picture this? Every feeling you have, every emotion you experience. It's like a wave on the ocean. And you've learned through experience that the more you resist the wave, the more it intensifies, doesn't it? What if you allowed the wave to rise and fall, just like the tide? What if you simply let the feelings come, without trying to control them? Can you feel that shift? The moment you stop resisting, the wave begins to settle. You can allow yourself to feel it, to heal it, and from that place, transformation happens naturally and effortlessly. As you breathe in, imagine the air filling you with new possibilities. The more you embrace the present, the more you begin to notice. Life, it isn't something to escape from. Life is something to step into, to experience with open arms. Your body knows this. You already know this on a deep level, even if it hasn't always been conscious. It's like planting a seed in the soil, isn't it? It doesn't try to rush the process. It simply grows in its own time, naturally unfolding. In the same way, the more you allow yourself to feel, the more your growth comes from a place of ease and alignment. Notice then how at each passing moment, your ability to move through life with calmness increases. You've realized each emotion is a teacher, isn't it? And as you acknowledge it, you invite healing to happen. Isn't it interesting how the more you allow yourself to truly experience where you are, the more you naturally shift, moving toward your desired outcome. You might even notice how, with each passing day, it becomes easier to embrace your current reality, whatever the reality might be. Because in fully feeling where you are, you begin to unlock the ability to move forward with grace. Just think for a moment. What happens when you stop fighting the moment? What happens when you stop trying to change things and simply accept the present as it is? It's almost as if the tension in your mind and body begins to dissolve. Things become clearer. The answers you've been searching for, they're already there, quietly waiting for you to notice. Can you see it now? In every feeling, in every situation, you hold the power to shift by embracing it, rather than pushing it away. And the beauty is, it doesn't take effort. Not the kind of struggle that you may have believed was necessary before. So gentle surrender to the present, an understanding that every emotion, every sensation holds information. It's almost like tuning into the frequency of your own inner wisdom, and you feel it without judgment. The answers begin to rise, like bubbles in a stream, effortlessly making their way to the surface. Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a beautiful garden. You've tended to it by allowing yourself to feel everything that comes. The weeds no longer have the power to choke out your growth. Instead, every challenge, it's simply become another opportunity for you to dig deeper, nurturing yourself with compassion, trust and understanding. Each time you allow yourself to be fully present in the moment, you're creating fertile ground for healing and growth. Isn't that an amazing shift to make? You've also realized, haven't you, that once you stop disconnecting from the present, you start to unlock a deeper level of clarity. The more you allow yourself to feel each moment, the more you realize every feeling, every experience is a gateway. And just as a door opens, you step through it, allowing the new reality to unfold effortlessly. You've started to see, on an unconscious level, healing, it isn't something to be forced or rushed. It happens naturally when you're present, when you truly allow yourself to experience every emotion, every sensation. And so, now as you let this idea settle deeper into your mind, you realize something profound. The resistance that once felt so heavy, so paralyzing, begins to melt away. You're no longer fighting yourself. You're no longer struggling to change the unchangeable. Instead, you're giving yourself permission to experience life as it is, to feel every bit of it without fear, without judgment. In this space of acceptance, everything begins to shift. Every time you embrace the present, you open yourself up to a new chapter. Each moment becomes a stepping stone, leading you forward with ease and grace. You don't even need to figure out the next step before you take it. You simply need to be where you are. And as you do that, you naturally find your way, step by step, effortlessly moving towards your goal. You may even begin to notice, the moment you stop fighting your reality, your energy shifts. It's like the way a bird soars effortlessly on the wind. It doesn't fight the wind, it lets the wind carry it, gently guiding it in the direction it needs to go. And in the same way, you can let the current of life carry you forward, without resistance, without struggle, simply by being present, by fully feeling everything that comes, and allowing it to heal you, transform you, and guide you. It's as simple as that. Feel it to heal it. As you step into this understanding, you may notice life becomes easier, lighter, more fluid. Each moment of presence, each moment of acceptance leads to another, and before you know it, you've moved from a place of resistance into a place of flow. You start disconnecting from your experiences, and in doing so, you've allowed yourself to heal, to grow, to become more than you ever imagined. And isn't that the most exciting part? Knowing, as you fully embrace where you are, you're already on the path to where you want to go.